Hello everyone, my name is Kobe. And I recently been seeing a lot of comments on my videos as well as conversations in my Discord about people struggling with manual movement and just in general people asking for tips. So today I'll be showing you some game situations and giving you tips on how to improve your movement. Now just keep in mind I can't talk about every single situation since it's always going to be a bit different than the last one. And different opponents will always react differently to every situation. So today I'll be covering the most important and common situations. Also, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, subscribe and all that other good stuff. But with all that said, let's head into the video. So I want to start this video with some general tips on how to switch over to manual movement and why you should do this. Now of course, how most of you start playing is just by holding the L1 button. But for most situations, this can get you in a very bad position. Now switching over to manual movement is obviously not an easy task. And it's going to require playing a lot of games, and of course you're going to make mistakes and you're going to have to learn from them. So I'll be showing you some game situations that are most common and how to react to them. Now in previous videos I already tried giving some tips on how to better position yourself on crosses and 1v1s. So if you missed those, I'll put them in the top right corner now, and I'll quickly repeat the main focus points you need to remember from those videos, and that's to play high off your line, since you'll be able to prevent the ball from being in a dangerous situation and also just to put pressure on your opponent. This is something you have to try and implement constantly into your gameplay. Like, if you see me play, you'll always see me waiting to track back just in case the opposition is going to play a through ball, and I'll be sure to be there first. And for crosses, you need to try and position yourself in the direction of the receiver to be able to win the balls in the air, and of course getting more off your line. But again, go watch those videos first if you want to see the situations in more detail. Now, onto the point of this video. I want to show you my positioning during difficult situations around and inside of the box. Also, keep your attention at the arrows at my player's feet, so you'll clearly see what direction I'm moving my left stick to. Now when the opposition is playing the ball around the box, you'll rarely see me hold L1. Now at first sight it might look like I'm just hopping around, but I'll explain to you my exact movement and why I do these things. So let's take a look at this example. At the beginning you see me staying high up in the box. Only when the players are getting into a shooting position, I'm moving back to my goal. I think at this point I already mentioned enough times that you need to stay further out of your goal, and like you see, I do it all the time. Now for most of the shots around the sides of the box, let's say about these areas, you'll see me position myself towards the far post. And this is an effective and easy trick to position yourself for long shots. Of course the far post will be more ideal for attackers to shoot towards, so especially from the corners of the box, you'll always be able to move towards the far post without having to worry. In this example, my opponent doesn't get a shot off, and you see me instantly moving to the central again. And something you'll see me do as well is when the opponent gets the ball in the middle, is moving backwards to the goal, to then be sure to move forwards when the shot would happen. And this is a very effective way to save shots from inside of the box. And I'll show you a few examples of this happening. Just look at me moving backwards to get that extra space between me and the ball, before moving forward and sideways again to get a better chance at saving the ball. Now, thing to watch out for is of course that when the ball is inside of the box, and if you're moving backwards, that you deny yourself the chance of going out for the 1v1. So be sure to only do this when you're certain that the player is going to shoot. It's always a risk you need to think about, and you just have to learn when you are able to do this backwards moving and when you just have to rush the ball. Also, another thing that you need to watch out for is that you don't move backwards when your opponent is shooting, because you'll just get a very bad animation and you'll hardly ever save a shot. So just be sure to move backwards before the shot is made. Because if you want to dive while moving backwards, it's just always going to go wrong. Now going back to positioning before a shot, I already talked about faking runs and just in general mind games when coming around 1v1s. But as you can see from these clips, I always try to position myself towards the direction of the shot when I'm about 90% sure where it's going to go. And especially in 1v1s, I'll guarantee you'll just save so much more shots when doing this. And just to deny all of your doubts, try not to move the left stick and right stick at the same time, but instead slightly flick your left stick to position yourself manually when the opposition is loading up a shot, then immediately let go of the left stick and just dive using the right stick. A thing you've got to watch out for is of course not always just blindly move to the far post, since attackers will lock onto that and simply go for the near post instead, so be sure to always be unpredictable. And when positioning for shots, it's always best to move as late as possible. so your opponent doesn't get a chance to react to it. And like I said, try to adapt slightly every game more and more to change over to manual. This is how I learned to do it, and even now I will still tap L1 in combination with my manual movement just to slightly correct my own positioning. It'll take some time to adapt to this, of course, and since it's impossible for me to talk about every single situation, you'll just have to make sure to get enough games in and get the experience yourself. Of course, if you still have any questions about your movement, or if you have clips yourself and you don't really know what went wrong, be sure to let me know down in the comments or in my Discord channel. Also, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Now, if you're a goalkeeper, and I'm pretty sure most of you are, and you have a good saving clip, be sure to look in my Discord because you might be able to just win some money later this month. But until then, thank you for watching, see you next time, stay safe.